Les Juifs de Palestine n'étaient pas sionistes. Ceux qui étaient sionistes, c'était ceux qui venaient d'Europe centrale. C'était des gens comme ceux de ma famille, qui venaient d'Ukraine, de Pologne, d'Autriche. Le sionisme est né sur une terre qui n'est pas celle qu'il voulait libérer. Le sionisme est né en Europe pour libérer une terre qui n'était pas la terre européenne. Il y a là tout de même un paradoxe qu'il ne faut pas oublier.
Judaism thus became divided into two basic groups which remain today. The Ashkenazim, which are the Khazars of the East, and the Sephardic Oriental, which are Jews of Spain, Turkey, and lands bordering on the Mediterranean. Today, the Ashkenazim, or Khazars, are the vast majority, about 80% of those who call themselves Jews.
Where was the Talmud written and who wrote it? It was written by the 70 rabbis who were in Babylon. And now that is the central and the focus, that is the law and the central focus of the Yahud now. They have left the Torah and they are following the Talmud. And the Talmud was written by the rabbis who were influenced by the regime and the environment in Babylon.
It says the penalty for adultery does not include sex with a minor, the wife of a minor, or the wife of a heathen. The Talmud also encourages seduction of unwed adolescent girls called designated bondmaids. A proselyte under the age of 3 years and a day is permitted to marry a priest. Agreeing with Ben Yochai, the great Rabbah said, "When a grown-up man has intercourse with a little girl, it is nothing." There is a special antagonism between the Talmud and Jesus. The Talmud attacks him everywhere it can, even his mother. Mary, the Talmud says, was a whore who mated with carpenters. She who was the descendant of princes and governors played the harlot with carpenters. It naturally followed that the scribes declared Christ to be a bastard. In its article on Jesus, the Jewish Encyclopedia says that Jewish writings defame Christ. The Khazars were fascinated with that mystical aspect of Judaism called Kabbalah.
The Rothschilds, whose front companies had helped finance Hitler and the Jewish slave labor camps, had turned Jewish Holocaust victims into victimizers. Imprisoned inside barbed wire refugee camps, the Palestinians began to resemble the victims of Nazi concentration camps. According to author Simon Schama, the Rothschilds own 80% of the land of Israel. Even the flag of Israel flies the hexagram symbol from the Rothschild family's red shield.
The Zionists employ such concepts from Judaism as the chosen people and the promised land. This, however, is not a sincere religious devotion. On the contrary, Judaism, a divine religion, has become a vehicle for Zionism, a worldly ideology. The problem is not Judaism and the Jews, but rather Zionism and the Zionists. The relationship between Zionism and Judaism has never been a realistic one. Those who put forward the ideology of Zionism were people who had nothing to do with religion. Max Nordau, the second important movement leader after Herzl, was a confirmed atheist. Most devout Jews regarded Zionism as an anti-religious ideology and rejected it. Devout Jews still regard Zionism in those terms today. Someone walking about in devout areas of Jerusalem can see slogans written up to the effect that Judaism and Zionism are diametrically opposed. These devout Jews oppose Zionism. They carry slogans protesting the Zionist Israeli policy. In fact, it is quite impossible for a sincere, devout Jew to oppress other peoples. Although the basis of the religion, the Torah, has become interspersed with human words and corrupted since its revelation, it nevertheless commands peace and justice between people. For these reasons, devout Jews criticize Israeli terror as a violation of the Torah. One of these is Britain's chief rabbi, Professor Jonathan Sacks, who criticized the way that Israeli policy is treated as equivalent to Judaism in a statement he made in 2002. There are things that happen on a daily basis which makes me feel very uncomfortable as a Jew, he said. Even some Israeli soldiers oppose the government's harsh policies. In 2002, some 250 Israeli soldiers refused to serve in the occupied territories, saying, "We do not want to attack innocent people."